Well, folks, hey, I guess we live. You know what I mean? Usually, I take this time, Matt, to just be talking about. We just gonna talk for like 1 or 2 minutes, waiting for everybody to get in here. But I'm gonna tell you, this time we gonna start this show just like this, bro. We just finna get started. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you. You know why? You know why? Because look, anybody can come into this podcast, right? They can come in, they can start it at the beginning or however they want to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let everybody know if they don't already know who you are. This is Matt from Mr. Make It Happen, right? Listen, currently right now you got 454,000 subs. Hey, bro, I gotta before I even go on and keep talking about all your accomplishments and all of that, I gotta just say, hey, I take my hat off. Well, I would take it off, but I ain't got no fresh ball one. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. I'm gonna just go ahead and be one of the first to tell you, congrats, bro, on your success. Hey, you doing it
Thank you.
right? Look, so I see you've been doing YouTube since 2020. Listen, you've been on other different platforms. I'm gonna save that, and let everybody I'll let you explain it, man, because nobody going to explain it the way you do. But really, my whole thing is just to tell everybody if they don't know who you are, and those who do know need know those that know you need no introduction. Check it out, folks. We got Matt from Mr. Make It Happen. Get down, Matt. Talk to him.
Yeah, so as you guys probably know, if you've seen, me and AB have been collabing for probably over a year now. I got the YouTube channel, also on Instagram at _, Mr. Make It Happen, on Twitter at Mr. Make It Happen. Basically, Mr. Make It Happen on all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. We got to be on everything these days. So I started in 2020 on YouTube, but I probably started on Instagram maybe a year and a half before that. I actually started with a food blog before I transitioned to YouTube. So I kind of got the food blog started up. It did really well, and then I kind of pivoted to YouTube in January of 2020 was my first upload. So
Hey,
now we're here.
hey, listen, I didn't even know that. Like you started your Instagram journey a year and a
Yep.
half before you even started your YouTube. And I take my hat off to you, man. Listen, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but listen, you done brought a lot of new weapons to the game, you know what I mean? But once I learn how to fire them, you know what I mean? I might be a little slow, but I'm picking it up, man. Hey, listen, so that's to tell everybody, listen, you guys can see other people that's out here doing their thing. You know what I mean? Listen, you're not too old to learn anything. Because a lot of people come to me, don't Matt, and be asking me, hey, how do you grow these channels? And before we
Right.
get into all of that, I just want to say, hey, what's up to my Facebook family? And if you didn't know, Matt, listen, I'm broadcasting this on Smoking and Grilling with AB, on Real Talk with AB, and it's on Smoking and Grilling with AB on Facebook. Hey, so everybody from Facebook, YouTube, no matter what platform you're looking at it, I just want to say, hey, what's up to y'all? Look, we got the comments going. We got Mitchie here. Mitchie's our show producer.
Hello, hello.
Hey, everything she's gonna say, she's gonna always double it up. And then we got Nada right here. She's mad at me right now, giving me a look. If you want to know why I'm sweating, that's because I hadn't gotten her Mikey in yet. You know what I mean? But that's our sound engineer. You don't ever want to give your sound engineer. Listen, when you give her a mic, I gotta like make the show add another 30 minutes onto it. All right.
It'll help though.
Right. Hey, so people saying, what's up? Good producer, all of that. Listen, it takes a team, you guys. You know what I mean? When you get a channel, you know what I mean? Well, you know what it is? I guess I'm trying to be big. Hey, that's it. So listen, I'm trying to do things and do things the right way. You know what I mean? Quit trying to do everything myself. You know what I mean? So you delegate. And hey, these are some of the things I'm learning from you, Matt. I remember you asking me like, hey, bro, how are you doing all of that? But now I know why my hair was falling out and all of that.
I think when we first met, you were either in the process of or hadn't yet had gotten a videographer, right?
Right. Hey, look, that's somebody that know me and you. Or that's a hall. Look, say AB and nephew. Hey,
that's it.
Can I just take this time?
That's
I know
the first question.
Huh?
I said, I'm sure that's the first question that people have.
Right. We might as well just address that. Hey, but look, I'm gonna say it this way. You know how many times, man, I'm out, especially in Vegas, bro. People bump into me, like, hey, what's up? And look, I got it. They telling me, what's up, AB? I'll follow you. I love you. But then they hit me like, hey, I love you and your nephew. And then you can see it on their face. The next thing they're gonna ask me is like, hey, how's that your nephew, bro?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think we need to address it.
Yeah. Hey, so listen, for those of you guys that don't know, if you're not from the West Coast, I mean, it's pretty much everywhere right now. But check it out on the West Coast. That's just the way we talk. That's like hood slang. You know what I mean? Like everybody's your nephew.
The term of endearment.
Right. There you go. Hey, listen, from where I come from, you want to be the nephew because the alternative is ugly. You know what I mean? All right, what we got? Wine. Hey, you know what, Mitchie? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna step on your toes. You can get in here anytime. You can just read them comments and do your thing.
Absolutely. I can see some questions coming in. on here.
You got Wine Angel, said my boy, AB and Mr. Make It Happen. Hey, listen, we want to say, listen, we do appreciate you guys being in here, taking your time out on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? It's 4:30 on the West Coast. You guys can be doing a whole lot more, but check it out. Even if you're getting off work and you're driving, listen, this is something cool to listen to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to give you some cool facts about, he and I, we could talk food. We'll be taking questions. And I'm going to use this time to go ahead and say this. Listen, we're supposed to get everybody. I know most of everybody's probably watching. I see it's a lot of people on here from Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, listen, this is the goal. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag right here. We're going to be doing a giveaway. Like, I think my number one question is, listen to this, Matt. They all want to know what kind of pots that I'm using. Like those hex-clad pots, right? So listen, I'm going to go ahead and give away. Listen to this, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and give away a 13-piece set made by Hexclad, right? All you got to do is, that's real nice. Hey, look, and I'm trying to sweeten
it right there.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, I'm taking a page out of your book.
Automobile for that.
Right. Look, I'm taking a page out of your book, man. You say if you're going to do it right, and you got to do it big or go home. You know what I mean? So listen, we're going to do it that way. And I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to give a 13-piece set away from somebody that I pick, and then I'm going to give 2 runner-ups. So it'll be 3 prizes. It'll be 2, I guess I'll do the 7-piece set. You know what I mean? We'll do that. Come with a couple of pots, a nice pan, and all of them got lids. You know what I mean? We'll do 2 of the smaller prizes, and then we'll do the bigger prize, like the grand prize. And that'll be, I'm not going to tell nobody anything. You got to be subscribed to Real Talk with AB. I'm not going to tell you guys when I'm going to do. I can tell you this. You guys got about 4 more episodes before this podcast will only be on Real Talk with AB. I got to stress that, you guys. You got to go by there and you got to watch it there, because I'm going to take this and remove this from Smokin and Grillin with AB. And then when it comes to Facebook, it'll probably only be on Facebook every first Tuesday of the month. Now, outside of that, listen, it's not no more about me, and what I'm doing. This is all about Matt, and let's learn from this cat right here. So, Matt, I'm going to go ahead and I'm finna just get right into it, man. These are like my warm-up questions, and then I'm sure me and you will just get to talking. All right, good. So let's just start with the basics, man. Talk to me and tell me what made you start. You know what I mean? What made you put your craft? You know what I mean? Talk to me like, we talking for the first time. Like, where does food rank in your life? Like how, what does it mean to you? When did you know you had a gift? Stuff like that.
So, I mean, honestly, I started cooking. So I moved out at a super early age, like right before I turned 18, I was out of the house. So quickly you got to either, eat out every day or begin to cook to feed yourself. Right. So, quickly I started to cook because that was the cheaper alternative then. I can't really speak to now with how expensive groceries are today. It's kind of up in the air as to whether or not it's cheaper to cook inside or go out to eat. But at the time, it was certainly cheaper to cook for yourself at home. So we kind of had the hangout apartment. Everybody would come over before we would go out to the club or go out to whatever we were going to do that night, the pregame spot, so to speak. And I would cook something, for myself, and people would come over and try it. And as people would try the food, people would give you compliments and say, "Oh, this tastes good. This is good. I like it." And that kind of gets you thinking like, "Oh, maybe this is my thing," right? Because, I played sports and stuff growing up, and I was good at a couple things, but I was never really, I never had that one thing I felt like was my calling or anything like that. Like I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't draw. So I was like, oh, maybe this is my thing. So, I just kind of doubled down on it and kept cooking. And then by the time I got to my early to mid 20s, it had become like a staple in my life. It was something that I was doing. I found kind of, it was like a getaway for me. It was like therapy. So I would get in the kitchen and try different things. And I kind of got an addictive personality. So like when I get into something, I get obsessed with it. I want to get as good as possible at that thing. And cooking was that for me. So the thing I like about cooking the most is you can always get better at it. Like even if you nail a dish, there's something you probably could have done to make it a little bit better. So that kind of just keeps that appetite up for me to continue to, push forward and try to get better at it every day. So I would say the love for cooking started in my early, 18 to 20, and then my mid 20s is when I kind of started taking it more seriously.
Okay, look, that last part you were talking about, like, like what you could have done, and that's that's the reason why I make a certain dish several, different times. When you
Yeah,
keep making it one way, then you think like, what, I should have put this in there or did that. Maybe not even did that. Maybe this time I'm gonna use heavy whipping cream or something like that.
yeah,
And then when you're doing this fire, I just share it with the world. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's what
That's
it's
it.
all about. And like every dish could. That's the beauty of what we do, right? People are like, don't you run out of things to cook? It's like, no, because you could take that same shrimp and grits and put a spin on it. There's always something you could have done differently or could have done better or used a different ingredient. So there's ways to keep it fresh.
Right, right, right. All right, absolutely, man. Hey, I can see. You know what? Me and you could just go on forever. Hey, can you give me just a little bit of volume on the music? Just a little bit. There you go. Hey, you the
I don't even
best.
hear any music.
Oh, you don't hear it on your
I
end?
told you I can't sing.
Okay. Hey, no, hey, you know what? I'm glad these ain't got no lyrics because I might just be. It's something about the music. This is why I put music in my videos. You know what I mean? I have those songs in my brain. I just don't have them playing. Because obviously I'm talking real time. But I love to have a little music in my head, and that kind of like sets the tone for me. You know what I mean? So it gives me my energy. You can almost tell about what I'm listening to inside my mind or what I listened to before. All right. Hey, so you know what? We might as well address. Hey, you know what? I'm just start answering some of these comments that we see up here. Just whatever you put up on the screen, Missy, we'll just go ahead and just there you go. Go ahead and read that one.
Yes, Carter D. Yo said, Yo, AB, I can't grill or make a burger without your mayonnaise on the bun and grill.
Hey, you hear that, right? Hey, a lot of people did not know that, bro, that you put the mayonnaise
I
on the
didn't
grill.
use. I didn't. I had heard of it, but I had never actually tried it myself. You were the first person that kind of I actually tasted mayo on the bun
That
when you
right
did it for
there
the
is
burgers we did.
right, right, right. That's fire. Hey, you know what? And
Uh,
and I think didn't you mention chopped cheese to me before?
yeah, it's big in New
Yeah, yeah.
York.
Right, 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 right. So then when I start doing, a little research about it and all of that kind of stuff, I had it written down and ran across it. That's how it came up again. Hey, me and you could put a bunch of spins on that chopped cheese. But I
For
ain't gonna lie
sure.
to you. The food police, they came out though, bro. I
Oh,
don't even I don't really
they're a
want to
real
give you
thing. There's a whole. I always never mind. I always wondered, like, is the compensation good for the folks that are part of the food police? Like, are they getting compensated for the time and effort that they put into uh, policing the internet about food recipes?
right, 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 right. I ain't gonna say they was like brutal. They was just like, hey, they use Saison. They was more so just giving me the real about it to make it authentic. You know what I mean?
That's
That
good.
was it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we have Eddie Young that said, Yeah, you always put a different spin on the dish. I started cooking when I was young too. I was 13 and I was making full course meals.
Hey, that's what's up, Eddie.
Wow, nice.
Hey,
At
so
13, I was like making grilled cheese sandwich, tuna fish, stuff like that.
Miss Callie asked, What did you gentlemen make for the 4th?
hey, let me answer this one real quick, man. I'm gonna jump out here with this answer right here. Nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't do nothing. I made a couple of hamburgers inside, grilled them inside of my cast iron on the new stove. You know what I mean? Outside of that, I didn't do nothing. What about you, Matt?
I actually usually I go all out anytime there's an opportunity for me to cook out, but we kept it pretty simple. We did some burgers, sausage. I am testing out a new recipe for some grilled corn. So I got like this idea for my garlic parm wing sauce. I'm gonna put that on corn, kind of like Mexican street corn. So that came out pretty good, and I did some fried lobster deviled eggs.
Okay. No, that sounds good.
All right. We have a super chat from One Delish. It says, Two great cooks in the hizzy, much love.
Hey, so I
You
gotta
guys
say
got to
something.
keep letting Mitzi read stuff like
Yeah,
that.
hey,
Spam
I
the
was just
comments
about to
with
touch it. I was just about to touch
spam the
bases on it
comments with
right.
Sorry,
that.
guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, so look, hey, she said two great cooks in the hizzy. Much love.
Am I pronouncing it
Yeah,
wrong?
but they trying to
You
say
did
in
it
the
right,
heat,
Mitzi.
like
You did a
in the
good
house.
job.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, in the house.
okay.
You know what I mean? Right, 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 right. Hey, she coming a long ways though. You know what I mean? She
I
didn't
like
read
it.
some stuff to me. I was like, hey, how did you know what that means? She like, oh no,
I
you
like it.
right, right, right.
All right. So we have Andrew Allen Jr. says, Any recommendations for slow cooker / crock pot recipes?
What you got, Matt?
You can't go wrong with a good pot roast in the crock pot, a Mississippi pot roast if you're tired of the traditional pot roast. I mean, chili is always a good go-to for me. Good curry chicken, anything that you like, short ribs, anything that you don't feel like standing over, you can put it on in the morning, go to work, come back, and it's good to go. One pro tip though, anytime that you do cook something in the crock pot, I always recommend to sear it first. So get a nice crust on it and then put it
Absolutely.
in the crock pot. So my
Absolutely.
biggest gripe with crock pot food is it's kind of like soft and mushy, but if you get a good sear or crust on it before it goes in the crock pot, that'll make it a little bit better for you.
Absolutely. Hey, not to mention that they put the flavor on there, from the sear, like when
Yep.
it's seasoned, then you go ahead and hit it like that. The crust is the flavor. And just for your presentation at the end, for myself, when I was on the road, when I was using the crock pot, because I lived with using the crock pot, years ago. You know what? And they didn't have, what is that them foodie grills and all that kind of stuff, with the searing mechanisms and all that,
Right.
built into them. It wasn't like that for me. I remember when I found out they had a crock pot that it was set to warm afterwards. It won't continue cooking or just won't shut off. You know what I mean? That was like cutting edge for me. So at
Those
the
old
end,
school crock pots work better though.
yeah.
I have one that's probably 8-9 years old, and I
Mhm.
always reach for that one instead of the new one I bought. Maybe I just went cheap on the new one, but my old one is like my baby. I always reach for that one.
Right. And Andrew, you know what? There's so many recipes out there. Listen, if you go to my channel, Smoking and Grilling with AB, you can go ahead and hit the search button on the homepage. And if you do that, you can just put in crockpot recipes. And then I have a whole playlist with a bunch of things, a bunch of ideas for you. Super easy and simple.
All right. So we have Darian Butler says 2 greats in the game. Do you use a binder on your meat to do smash burgers?
You know what? Go ahead, Matt.
I don't. I think if you start using binders and things like that for burgers, you kind of make it more of a meatloaf. So like for a burger, I just want the burger to shine through. Good 80-20 ground beef, good fat content, simple seasoning, get a good sear, good crust. To me, that's the perfect smash burger for me. When I see people put the onions and the peppers and the breadcrumbs and stuff like that, I feel like, I'm a meatloaf guy. I enjoy meatloaf. I'd rather just go ahead and make a meatloaf at that point.
Right. Okay, yeah. You know what? Somebody had already put up there, we just got 2 different perspectives. Just we got our own different styles. And only way I can answer that one truthfully, it just depends. Like if I'm running my mouth before I make it, I used to do that, mix all my seasoning and all that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When you make a burger, period, you don't need to put all that in there. Just salt and pepper. You know what I mean? If you got your favorite AP seasoning, that's great too. You know what
I
I
know a
mean?
guy that sells a really good one.
Ooh, yep. You're right. I know that dude because I'm following that cat. That cat be you. Matter of fact, it's behind me somewhere. It's on one of these.
Actually,
I
yeah.
see it. I was gonna call it out later, but it's up there.
Right.
That's a spicy one too.
Right.
And the regular behind that. All right. So we have another question from Are You Not Entertained? It says, what are both of your guys' favorite dish to make?
For
Well,
me, it's braised short ribs. That's my favorite. That's my favorite dish to eat and to make.
I got 2 of them, man. I don't like to tell everybody this one. Well, to know me good is to know that I love to make smothered pork chops. You know what I mean? That's my go-to right there. Smothered pork chops. But the second half of that is just as equally as I love those, I love gumbo.
I like gumbo too. That's a good one.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I feel like that video that you and I did out there on your coast, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that just didn't get its just due, man. We threw down on that. You know what I mean? Hey, it's just not every day somebody can just wait a minute. Was that a live or was that a video?
That was a video. It's on my channel. I think you put it on your channel too.
Yeah, I think I did.
Then we did the live afterwards.
Oh, that's why I'm thinking live. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But listen,
that was fun.
It was, man. And I got it. Everybody, it felt like it was a live actual cook, man. Just everybody can't get down and do one like that. You know what I mean? We just put that together. The roux just came together.
A lot of folks, cooking live is a different animal, to sit down and have the benefit of editing and all of that is a benefit, right? Cooking live you gotta really know what you're doing. So I like doing it. We should do some more of those.
Right. Actually, I was getting ready to come out there to you, but I had forgot. It kind of like got overbooked, which I'm glad it did. I'm not gonna lie to you, man, because when I called and Mitchie made all of the arrangements and told me, hey, you know how much this ticket is, right? Hey, do you know the tickets was $1,900? I'm like, well, I need to be out there all week and we need to put out content. You know what I mean? For $1,900. All right.
All right. So we have another question from Ebonique Nivels. Says, hey guys, do you have any vegan recipes?
Now, don't everybody jump out there with
I know.
no answer. You know what I'm saying? I started not even say nothing and just let it, just let it continue to be silent. I can tell you this, after going to VidCon, I met with some people and I met a couple of creators and they big into that and they wanted to show me a few things. So I'm getting ready to tap into it a little bit. I have a couple of recipes, period, that I guess it could be considered, it could be, but that's not the way I ever looked at them before. So this is something that's coming in the future. What about you, Matt?
Probably not. I'm not gonna say I'll never do a vegan recipe, but it's just not. I'm not an expert at vegan cooking, so I'm not gonna to teach you how to do something that I never make at home or do for myself. It's like, it doesn't make sense. But to your point, if you're partnering with somebody that is their expertise, then I think that's a great idea. But I think there's some great vegan chefs out there, and they put out vegan content, and that's probably, not to say that I don't want you to watch my stuff. Obviously, I do, but I'm not the vegan expert, so I don't want to pretend to be. And that's not something that I subscribe to or eat at home. So it'll be tough for me to put that out on a regular basis.
Right. So we have Andrew Williams said, AB, are you available for catering? Granny turning 90 next year. We want to do it big.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I want to say, look, I'm flattered you would even ask or even, to consider, having me. You know what I mean? That'd be something. If you go to my videos, look at my about page, you guys can just send me a, man, something like that, man. I'd love to just, if it worked out right, I'd just love to help, you know what I mean? Just to, to help you do it big, you know what I mean? So let's just see. Let me see where you at and all of that. And I can just say it's not a definitely no, but I do cater. So if you just send me an email, you know what I mean, and let's just open up the talks.
All right. So we have Cam Mack said, do either one of you guys notice how some crock pots give off a weird smell or add a weird taste to some food? Why is that?
That's a new one on me. I haven't never ever noticed anything outside of it
Me
not
either.
being right.
I have, like, with air fryers, occasionally you'll kind of, if they're new, kind of like almost like seasoning a grill. Like, you can kind of burn off the oils and stuff that come from the manufacturer, but not with a crock pot. I've never really experienced anything weird. Might want to take that back and get a refund.
Right.
So we have a question from Anne Majek. Says, how do you feel when you hit 400,000 subs, Matt?
That's a good question, and I wish I had a great answer for you, but my brain is so messed up that I'm so focused on the next thing that one of my opportunities just as a human is to, like, calm down and kind of just live in the moment and enjoy what life is kind of giving me. I live a great life. I'm super lucky to do what I love, but I don't always do the best job of enjoying that in the moment. So honestly, I didn't really feel much of anything. I'm probably was looking at, like, all right, what do we got to do to do the next thing? So that's an opportunity for me, is to kind of, my wife tells me that all the time too, is like, you gotta kind of enjoy the ride while you're on it, and I don't always do the best job of that.
Hey, I think you told me though before, like maybe you got to, like, slow down. I think you mentioned that to me. Like, sometimes you got to just, like, slow down and smell the roses. Like, you look outside and everything is, like, bloomed and blossomed, but you're so worried about your next harvest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And planning that and doing all of that. Sometimes you don't get a chance to take a look. That's
I
probably
don't always take my own advice, though. That's the
right.
That's the
But
problem.
look, I knew that was the connection from you and I. When I first saw you, I just saw where you was going. You know what I mean? And hey, just happy for you. A lot of people ask me, like, I had a few people that just asked me, like, hey, do I be worried about having other creators? Like, no, I don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's so much room out here. 4 years ago, they said it was 2.2 billion, actual accounts, So I can only imagine how many came since, the pandemic and all of that. So
More every day.
yeah,
And that's what I tell people out there. And this is a good thing to probably bring up too for anybody. I'm sure there's folks in the chat that are watching this right now that are either in the process of starting a YouTube channel or they have, their own dreams and aspirations. Start now, because if you wait, there's just more and more people entering the field, right? So there's more people that are going to be starting YouTube channels. There's more, since the pandemic, there's more content creators than ever before. There will be more than there are today. And the longer you wait, the higher the barrier of entry is going to be. So just start now. Start with what you got right now, and just get the process started. Make it real, because if you don't do anything to make it real to you, then it's just a dream. It's just something that you talk about.
right. And if it ain't real to you, or it's like, to piggyback on that, like if you ain't got no passion behind that, you're not going to be able to push through. Like I've been doing this for 5 years. So just imagine doing the same thing for 5 years. You know what I mean? But my passion is what pushes me through when I think like, hey, you know what? Like maybe
Yep.
I think that my fire is dimming, you know what I mean? But the passion is what makes you keep going. All right. Thank you, Ann. Really do appreciate that. All right.
All right. So we have a question from Vlad Dorian. Says, what's your favorite way to make your own tacos?
You know what? Mine's real simple for that. Hey, usually, let me just say usually unusual. Pat Neely is my cousin on my mom's side. Hey, what's up, fam? He might have mentioned that to me, that, what he said his cousin was watching it. You know what I mean? Say, hey, so I'm just gonna say what's up to you. Now, going back to the question about the tacos, mine real simple. I don't know what happened to tacos since I've been a kid. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you guys how old I am, you know what I mean? But when I was, my mother was in there. Listen, my mama had a cast iron skillet. Let me just tell you how the tacos that I like, and these are my favorite. I'm a picky eater, man. You know that. I be looking at some of the stuff you make, and I'm like, hey, you all over. You know what I mean? I'm the traditional, just give it to me Southern, and let me stay within my little cup down this way. And then when I get out, Matt, the first one to tell me, Mitzi, and Nate, he the first one to call me, be like, hey, stay in your lane. You say, stay in your lane. I see you out here. Hey, you running up on my street. So hey, I got it. It's the hood thing. You know what I mean? He's like, AB, you way west of Crenshaw right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get back in my lane. But anyway, look, let's talk about this taco. Let me just give you guys a visual, and I want you guys to just, hey, close your eyes, listen to my voice. I hope you can hear the music, because this is the way it went for me. My mama had a cast iron skillet, right? She put the grease in there, you know what I mean? Then she had the tortillas. This is all it was. When I knew it was taco night, all I had to do was look at the little bowls that my mama had. And don't tell me, you guys, if you my age, your mama and daddy had this in the kitchen. We had Cool Whip, the Cool Whip, after you use the Cool Whip in the tub, that was your Tupperware.
That was the Tupperware.
That was the Tupperware. I know everybody now, they getting down a little bougie, and this all ties into these new tacos right here. So check it out. She got the skillet, the oil in there. I remember you take the tortilla, you put it in there, it fry a little bit, look like it's about to get hard, you flip it over, right? Then you fold it there. Then you flip it twice, and then you take it out, put that on a paper towel, either a paper plate or a plate, right? Just to get the grease off of there, right? Then you did the regular just ground beef. For me, my favorite taco was ground beef, cheese, no sour cream, no nothing. My mama flavored the ground beef, and it was right, and that was me. You know what I mean? My mother did all the diced onions and tomatoes and the shredded lettuce and all of that. Explain to me, Matt, because listen, you that new generation, bro. Why do tacos take on what they've taken on right now? They open face, they small,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And everywhere I drive, on every corner, after 10 o'clock at night, somebody got a stand that's lit up out in the middle of nowhere, selling tacos, man. And they all look fancy, look like I'm living out in the Caribbean or the Baja, Mexico, or something like that. What happened to I'm gonna say it, the ghetto? That was the ghetto taco. That's the kind
I think, those tacos are delicious, but I think that it's just a byproduct of how popular tacos are, and people just find ways to turn a 79-cent or $1 taco. How can I elevate that so I can charge $3 or $4 for that taco? So they start doing pickled onions and shredded beef and carnitas and all of that sort of stuff. So I think it's just a evolution, like that. The tacos that we grew up eating when we were kids, we had to feed a bunch of people for, without breaking the bank. And when you go out to eat, you kind of expect a more elevated, product. So I think that's just kind of what happens. It kind of happens with everything. Like, pizza. My favorite pizza is just a simple cheese or pepperoni pizza, but you got, people putting pork belly and stuff on pizzas and stuff nowadays. So I think that just kind of happens with everything. I welcome it though, because I'll go to your house growing up and eat your tacos. And then today I'll go to the taco stand and get those tacos too. I'm an equal opportunity taco eater. I like them all.
Right. Okay. But hey, just anytime somebody asks me what's my favorite way, the ghetto way. You know what I mean? Just give me
Nothing
the
wrong with
old,
that.
just give me the
Tried and
old
true.
school. Hey, there you go. Hey, so when you had your plate, you remember you had to like bend over that plate. Check it out. When you take it over and you over the front of that plate and you hit it like that, all of that grease that came out the back right
And the
there.
bottom of the plate turns orange.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, man, don't get me started, man. I can tell everybody what my first job was. I remember making them burritos and them burgers and all of that. You put them in that paper bag and you pass it out. By the time they hit them first two steps, the bottom of the bag was transparent from the grease. You know what I mean? That was a flavor, and I got it. That's why I'm big and all of that. It's a whole different time or whatever. But hey, just old school. Listen, when I tell you I love food, I love the food. You know what? And I gotta say this to my granny too, man. If she saw me eating everything that I'm eating right now, she'd flip backwards. You know how hard it was for her to get me to, you know how long it was for her to get me to even actually just get down with the shrimp. I could make it and do all of that, but I tell them to taste it.
That's something that folks probably don't know about you either, is that you are, for a foodie, for somebody that does food for a living, you're definitely a picky eater. When we go out to eat together, oftentimes I'm trying like, AB, you gotta
Wait,
at
think
least
about it.
try
Think about
this.
it. Hey, wait. I just want you give it a little thought before you get out there too far. It's all good, man.
Nah, they know.
Yeah. No, it's all good, man. I stay 100 on my channel. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
And that's why the people love you. Like Real Talk is a great name for your your podcast, because that's what people come to expect from you, and that's why you got such a a fan base or family base, whatever you want to call it, of 2 million people.
Thanks, man. I just got this thing like the YouTube, whether you're on your phone or your TV or however you watching it, like it's something magical about it because people can see through you. You know what I mean? I see so many people, and I'm not gonna say that. I've seen a few. I'll just say that. I just seen a few people look like they like forcing they forcing to stuff the envelope, to try to get it to close, properly. You just got to be yourself. That'd be the best thing. Just be yourself.
They say the cream rises to the top. So that's why I tell people to just get started. Like you might have that thing, and some people's journey is different than other people. Some people catapult to the top immediately, and then some people take 4, 5, 6 years to, kind of grind it out. So, don't, even if you are somebody that's been at this thing for a while, don't give up just because it's not, an overnight success. Sometimes, like I've talked to people with YouTube channels that started out, for 3 years, they didn't see any traction, and then boom, they're at, almost 1 million subscribers. So, just keep grinding at it, stay consistent, work on the best quality product that you can put out, and stick with it if it's something that you're passionate about.
All right. Nancy Cooper. It says Nancy Cooper Hans. It says, can we buy your AB rub? Listen, we about 2 a week, I'm gonna say 3 weeks away from having it in here. That has been a long process, and we can thank brother Matt, for Mr. Make It Happen. He didn't help me along with give me some guidance, and someone else has. You know what I mean? So I'm doing too much, and not delegating enough. But we close right now, so that'll be available very, very soon. All right.
We'll go back to the question. Are you not entertained? Asked, if you can get rid of one, what would it be? Oven or the grill?
That's tough.
That's
brutal.
That is, but you know what? I can look at it if you're looking at my channel, because I hardly get a chance to grill. You know what I mean? It's like when you're doing so much, I can grill if I just grill, like if I substitute the stove for the grill. We just put a little flavor from the smoke. But when it comes to grilling, the way I think about grilling, those are long days. You know what I mean? If it's not ribs, which I can rush ribs, you know what I mean? But if it's like making brisket and stuff like that, this is a process, you know. And for me, I don't know what I was thinking. It sounded like I was about to say I get rid of the grill, huh? I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I get rid of the oven. You know why? Because the grill is the oven. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it
I
could
consider
be.
look, I consider myself a pit master, so I can run my grill just like you run your oven. Most people
Right.
just set it at 350, 425, or whatever. I can do the same thing with the grill.
Yeah.
So bye oven.
For me, I probably got to stick with the oven, but my first love when it came to food was barbecue. Like I was really into, like I wanted to be into competition barbecue. But right before I started the food channel, my food blog, I thought I was going to be all in on barbecue. Then, you know, my love for cooking kind of evolved into other things.
Yeah. You know, that's something a lot of people don't know about you, though. I mean, I know that.
Yeah.
And what they know is what we show them. You know what I mean?
And I don't post much of it because honestly, it doesn't perform that well when I do post it. So it's like, and that's kind of the weird thing that we got to live by is like trying to figure out what's going to get the views and get the people's attention and, you know, get the clicks. So we're trying to balance what we want to make and what we like with what the audience wants to see. And for me, for whatever reason, a lot of my barbecue content just doesn't really perform all that well. So I kind of trend towards doing what the people want to see.
You know what? And just to go into a little bit more on that, this is the way it worked. Like some new information. I mean, it's not really new, but just talking about what I've just learned, it's real heavy on like how much the video is seen when it's launched. If you don't get enough traction, then they don't even push it out to the people that are subscribed to you. So meaning if I put out a barbecue, if I put out something about a brisket and this late, you know, most people have already looked those up, right? So if I do a brisket video now and it don't do nothing, it'll just be, it's like putting it on the back shelf. You know what I mean? And if you ask me, too many of those will hurt you. You know what I mean?
So we'll pull the curtain back a little bit. So basically, the way, you know, some of that YouTube algorithm works is, you know, the heaviest weighted metric is like what's called click-through rate. So that means how, like, when you guys see our content on your home screen, if you don't click on it, then that kind of lowers the click-through rate. So if they show your thumbnail to 100 people on their home screen and 10 people click on it, you got a 10% click-through rate. The higher your click-through rate is, the more they show that video to other people. So, you know, certain content, certain thumbnails, certain titles may not get the people's attention, lowers your click-through rate, which ultimately lowers the amount of people that they show your video to. So that's kind of one of the most important things about YouTube.
Right. You got to learn analytics, you guys. If you got, excuse me, if anybody in here that wants to know anything about growing a channel, it got to start there. And that means when you go in there and you look behind the scenes in your creator studio and you look at that, because a lot of people looked at that in the beginning. When I got started, when, you know, the analytics, everybody said, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to read that. What is that? You got to like learn it. Now everybody wants to learn it because they're trying to figure out how come their channel not growing. But YouTube does give you all the information that you need to, you know, do. If you read the information and, you know, that's all I can tell you is they give it to you in like a different language. Once you learn the language and you can read it, then you're good. You'll know how to make your videos. Hey, and I want to take it one more step further. You know what? If you guys are watching these videos, you know, like, hey, and I'm gonna say it from a creator standpoint. Like, we know some of the things that we can see on the back end is like when you watch a video, we know like you skip through the intro. This is how come sometimes we start off, we have 20 or 30 videos and we start looking at it and you say he got a long intro. So now you, after 10 videos, you say, I don't want to hear all that. You know that's, hey, what's up, everybody? Smoking and Grilling. You done read the title, so you go right to the ingredients. Some people don't even do that. If you've been following me for a minute, you know that I put my full ingredient list down in the description box. So they go right to when they cooking. You know what I mean? And this is more like a cry. I guess this is really like personal. You know what I mean? Me being as a creator, because that's what we doing. We creating a video. It's more to it than me just showing you somebody. Like, this is our creative way of showing how we get down, you know, using cameras, do editing, you know, we get people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I gotta pay homage to Big Moody. Big Moody, you still there?
He's in the back. He's editing right now as we speak.
He back there editing right now. That's hey, Big Moody over there. That's
Moody
his
don't
editor.
take any days off. That's my guy.
Hey, Hey, you go within that department. But anyway, I'm just saying, us as creators, we'd like to just try to get past it. You know what I mean? But I look at it, if you guys skipping it, this is why my intro is getting shorter. Why? Because we need to have more watch time. You know what I
I
mean?
just dropped my intro. That was
Did
one of
you?
the things that you told me initially
Right.
was like when I first started that my intro was too long. And I was like, man, the people like it. But it's
So
not helping. The one of the click-through rate we already talked about, but the other metric that's important is like retention. So, in the first 30 seconds to the first minute is when that kind of matters the most. If I got a 30-second intro and you've seen my intro 100 times, you don't necessarily want to watch that again. So you might skip ahead. So why have it? Why not just cut it all together and just get right into the video and try to, capture your attention right off the bat? So these
right.
are things that we got to think about as we're, developing our content, and the algorithm changes. So like sometimes, a couple years ago, the algorithm might have favored one thing, and now the
Right.
algorithm's changed completely. So,
Right.
you just got to, keep up with the time, so to speak.
Hey, so you know what? That comes to this part about like you can't do what you really want to do. Like I love my intro. I got 2 intros that was I had made that I love them. You know what I mean? But after you've seen it a couple of
Yep.
times, you don't want to see it no more. You know what I mean? You just want to get what you need to get so you can cook this meal and move on. You know what
Yep.
I mean? So the 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 analytics, the statistics, they tell you. So everything for me is getting shorter. Let's get right into the meat and potato. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You still got to keep yourself in there. You don't want to get lost and like change who you are. You know what I mean? But
Right.
for me, I'm finna focus on moving forward. Is like really like into my visual. You know what I mean? And just I can do all that rambling and talking while I'm cooking. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But I'm gonna just keep it down to, what's happening with the dish that I'm creating and then just go from there.
That makes sense.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So we have a question from Jigs Brown. Says, do you guys think y'all can win Master Chef?
Man, I feel like I feel like I can get on with it. Doesn't make no difference. I still want to see, you know what I mean? There's a couple of people out here that's making a few things that I like to just sit across from them and let's get down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm born in the concrete jungle. You know what I mean? We all put our pants on the same way. Just because you got 20 million followers and I only got 2, that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
You
I
know what
think
I mean?
anything that you take seriously,
Right,
if you
right.
got any kind of competitive bone in you, then you should definitely feel like you can win any competition that you enter. If I enter a competition, I'm only entering it because I think I can win. Um, so yeah, I mean, to answer the question, I think I can.
You know what? That's probably better well said. Hey, listen, I listen to the way you explain. And somebody say we got 2 different styles. This is true. You explain. Hey, you make me think like when I'm explaining, you know what? When I'm talking, okay, when I'm watching your videos, Matt, and I look at it, look, they educational. You know what I mean? You could hear the love in it. You know what I mean? You explain it well. You know what I mean? I always tell people, you know what? I went to high school. I did graduate. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Me too.
Just in case these 2 was just trying to figure it out. Yes, sir. I did graduate. You know what I'm saying? On time. You know what I mean? All right. Did all of that. You know what I mean? But that's as far as I went. But I find myself when I'm talking, man, I just be talking like how I'm coming right to you right now, like from the hip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think part of it for me, I got a 10-year background in sales. So like if you're trying to sell somebody something, you got to figure out a way to articulate it in a way that it kind of makes sense to them and it's unoffensive. So like just being in sales and having to sit across from like general managers or owners of businesses and try to get them to buy your product, I think that's taught me how to like navigate conversations a certain way, because I'm the same. I only went to high school. I didn't go to college. I went to college for 2 refund checks. I went to college enough long enough to get 2 refund checks, and that was it.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So we have a comment from Viking Bourbon says, love this conversation. It's hard starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah. And you know what I think the only thing hard about it is just like producing that very first one. You can't learn from nothing. Your brain will beat you up. I opened up the channel in June. It took me almost 4 weeks to put out the very first video. If you
Yep.
guys look on my channel and change the way you look at it, you look at my very first video, it's on there. They horrendous. You know what I mean?
Mine too. I looked
Yeah.
at one the other day, me and Moody were like, damn, we were shooting in the dark. The lighting was bad. It
Right.
was awful. But
Yeah.
one thing, like, you know how Facebook shows you like memories from 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. So I saw a memory from something that I posted on Facebook like 6 years ago, talking about I'm about to start a YouTube channel. I didn't start it until 2020, but this memory was from like 2016 or 2017. So I just go imagine who I would be or where I would be today if I would have started years ago. I would already have you would have started when less people were making content, so that kind of boosts you to the top already because you got less competition. You know, just start now is the message that I tell everybody. Anybody that's interested in it doesn't have to be food. Anything that you want to do, any business that you want to start, don't wait till next year. Don't wait till January 1st. Get started as soon as possible.
Hey, you know what? Hey, listen, that could be a whole another podcast because I think me and you could talk on that for hours. Just
Yep.
on we just keep a little circle around where we at, and then we're gonna read this comment from Noonie Watts. But when you share your like, let's just say you want to do something. I like the fact that you said it's not because I tell people the same thing, Matt. Hey, YouTube just happened to be my journey. You know what I mean? But I never would have known had I had not done YouTube, and maybe it didn't continue, but maybe the passion was there, and maybe I could have been the next TikTok or the next or whatever. You know what I mean? Or maybe that would have made a restaurant, faster or something like that. But the point is you got to start something. And then you got to be careful when you're talking to other people. So I do believe this, you guys. Listen, there's two types of people in the world. I can read the comments after this because they're going to probably come there. It's only the way my brain works, there's only two types of people. You either a leader or you're a follower. You know what I mean? Meaning I can tell you guys and share something with you and you guys can all come back and tell me what you think. But you know what? I got my mind set on it. This is what I do. And this is what I want, I'm going to do. And I believe in it. So that's what I do. So when you share somebody, you share your dream with somebody and sometimes they tell you they just might be a little negative. For one, that's not their journey. So they don't understand it. And that's probably why they're giving you some negative feedback. You know what I mean? So you just got to be careful who you share your dream with, because sometimes a dream, your destiny, if you weak-minded, I don't want to say that because I don't have no insults for nobody. I don't want it to sound that way, so I'm trying to watch what I say. But I'm saying when you share something with somebody and then you're not as strong, but that could be your destiny, you'll let somebody else's, what they can't see, reflect onto you, and then therefore you'll never reach your potential.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oftentimes, a lot of people will put, their self-limiting beliefs on you, or you'll tell them, "Hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. I'm gonna make $1 million," and they're like, "Oh, you can't make $1 million doing that." Or I heard John down the street tried to do that and it didn't work out for him, and they start giving you all of these reasons why you can't do something, but it's only because they feel like they can't do it. So just because people don't believe in themselves, that should have nothing to do, with what your journey is going to be or what you're trying to do. So if you believe you can do something, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, you wake up and you make a to-do list, or you tell yourself, I make a contract with myself that I'm going to do these things, and you're going to keep doing those things until you get to the destination you're trying to reach, or whatever success is for you. Don't let other people bring you down if just because they never got the opportunity to chase their dreams. Those are usually the ones that always have those negative things to say, is the people that never got out there and tried anything or took any risks, or they got a job they've been working for forever and they hate it. Those are the people that always want to bring you down.
Absolutely. And I don't know if everybody's not a hater, you know what I mean?
They may not even want to bring you down, but just it's
right.
just in them.
It's just, hey, that's just who they are. And I got it. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't never really say it this way. For those of you guys that stayed in here and listen to this, this is like a major accomplishment for myself, which you helped me, realize this, Matt. Had I had never ever did that, I never would have became. And this is crazy. If you guys didn't know, I'm the biggest Black food channel on YouTube. It doesn't make a difference if like if they from the Food Network. You can pick any of the stars that's on TV. Right now they got food shows. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about myself or my channel that I do know what it is about me. I got it. I don't want to pop my collar, but hey, I am who I am. You know what I mean? But if I hadn't never ever just gave it a chance, like I never would have had gotten here. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what? I think this is what we're gonna do, Matt. If you don't mind, you got to come back, man. we could get like, I think I could think of 1 or 2 more people that'll be in here. You can bring somebody on your own. We can put a 4-person panel together, and then we could talk. You know what I mean? And just talk like, about I don't want to say it's about taking risk. It's like, hey, just chasing your dream and your passion, knowing the difference between your passion and your dream. You know what I mean? And I
It
think
is a
like,
risk though, because like
it
we
is.
talked about before, is I quit my job 1 year ago, July 1st. So a couple of days ago was the 1 year anniversary when I quit my job, and I had a good job. I told you guys earlier I was in sales. I was making a very comfortable living. Anybody that follows me, you see my house and all the stuff, is like I didn't buy any of this stuff with anything that I've done for myself recently. This is all from what I had before I started. So I left, what some people would say is a great corporate America job, and it's because it's not what I wanted to do. I enjoy sales. I worked for a great company. I like the people I worked with, all that good stuff. But it wasn't my I didn't have a burning fire for that. I wake up every morning and I want to figure out how I can take my channel from where it's at today to where it's at tomorrow, where it's going to be tomorrow. I think about, I've sold this many seasons. How many can I sell next year? That's just how I operate. So this job that I have now is my passion. I'm passionate about business and I'm passionate about food. I've been able to kind of combine those two things, and it's the happiest I've ever been, for sure.
Yeah. So listen, let's just put a panel together, you know what I mean, and do another podcast so we could just talk. You know what I mean? That's why I created this channel, man, is really, to be honest with you guys, for you guys that's in here, listen, right now it takes more. So it's taking the shape of like everybody on here is like a foodie, which is great. We could talk that, but the name of the channel is called Real Talk. And speaking of that, I want everybody that you in here, if you didn't hear me say it in the beginning, listen, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. It's going to be done on Real Talk with AB, you guys. You guys got to go by there. That's on YouTube. You got to go there and you got to subscribe if you're already not. And then listen, next Tuesday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time, listen, watch it on there. You don't have to watch it on Smokin and Grillin with AB. You know what I mean? This is reaching all the people that has never ever found out about it. But in 5 weeks, I'm getting ready to do a giveaway. I will be giving away a grand prize of a 13-piece, hex-clad, cooking set. Hey, real nice. That's what everybody
Like
asked
a
me.
Honda Accord, basically.
Yeah, really, for the price. But I promise you, once anybody get them, you know what I mean, and you start cooking with them, as soon as you get them and open them out the box, they got a great product. You know what I mean?
No
you talking about, I would love that. I see why they got Gordon Ramsay. If
I
he
give
didn't
me about another 100,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give me a set.
Hey, that's it. So, don't forget, you guys, go by Real Talk with AB on YouTube and subscribe there and watch next week. You know what I mean? I know how many subscribers we got on there. We got to like get it up. We got to get the watch time up on that. And then at the end, I'm getting ready to do this giveaway. It'll be 1 grand prize of the 13-piece set and then 2 runner-ups. Those will be for the 7-piece sets. Okay. Now.
So Noonie Watts had a comment, said, we definitely skip intros. A lot of the time, some of us are in the grocery store studying and trying to get the recipe down before we get home.
Did you hear that?
Yep. There's nothing wrong. So I think that there's a couple different types of YouTubers, right? Or YouTube viewers. There's the people that watch it for like entertainment, or they're just at home and they need something to put on the TV or their tablet, and they're just enjoying the show, so to speak. And then there's the folks that really love to cook. They cook all the time and they're actually trying to make the recipe as soon as it comes out. So I think it kind of depends on where you fall on that spectrum. You got some people that just watch it for entertainment, may never make the recipe, or maybe make it, a couple weeks down the road. And you got some folks, I'll post a recipe today, and then by 6 p.m. they're tagging me on Instagram. They already made it. So it just depends on kind of who you are and where you fall on that spectrum.
All right. So we have a super chat from Nick's G-Man for Life. It says, taking the mystery out of cooking and say it with me. Say it with me. If you have not heard those sayings, you need to get on these channels daily. Love the content, guys. Keep it real.
Oh, that's somebody that watched me and you.
Yeah.
Because look, that's his thing. That's Matt. When he said, hey, say it with me. Hey, why didn't hit him with the looking good?
Yeah, put that in there.
Right.
All right. So we have a question from Tanya B.
Very common question. I've seen that one quite a few times.
Very common question. Says, when will the cookbook be available again? I've been patiently waiting.
All right, let's go ahead and address the cookbook. You want me to start with it?
Now go ahead.
Okay, look, I'll start with this because it came up before we tried to get another cookbook made. Look, we ran into some problems with the cookbook. We'll just say that. With COVID and everybody talking about paper, everybody was behind, yada, yada, yada. Then, then everything kind of like, I'm not going to say it doubled, man. Let's just we'll start with triple. The prices of everything had just went up. Then they made another set of books that just wasn't right. And now that we here, I guess the cut to the chase would be books. We should have books in-house within the next, I'm going to say 4 weeks, Matt, to be safe. But I will tell them like within the next 2 to 3 weeks, they've already been done, proofed. Everything is done. We just waiting for them to finish printing. And then once they're done printing, they'll be shipping, and then we'll be shipping them out to everybody. We'll be making an announcement. Go ahead.
I would say at the very latest, AB, you always want to reel me in when I get too far out there. But at the very latest by September 1st, I think we'll have books on the market ready to be sent out. Maybe sooner. But at the latest, I would say September 1st. Basically what happened is we sold out of the first run. There was a paper shortage, labor shortage, COVID shut down a couple plants. It was really tough to get the next batch of books in. We went with another company. The batch that we got was unacceptable. So we went with a third company. This one is immaculate quality. It's perfect. And those books will be to us sometime in August or early September, and they'll be on the market for you guys.
Okay, you got one right there. This is how we learn right there. You go to that one that starts with a B. It's next to where the mouse is. Go down one.
You want me to click it?
Yeah.
BK Lynn, New York.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, look, you just read it as it spells.
I'm struggling, guys. Sorry.
Hey, they say it like that's where they're from. They from New York.
Right. So it says Matt. Sorry, thought the intro was too long as well, but the food shots were enticing.
And you know what? I think that's the most.
The intro is
that's why you
no longer. Yeah.
But look, that's why you're growing. For those who like to see the visual in the beginning, you know what I mean? That was great. You know what I mean? And then you got the simplify, the quick content for them too. I think that's why, you just winning, bro.
I'm trying, man.
Catch up with somebody. All right. All right, she's looking for another comment right now. Man, you got me going.
Yeah, Cookbook September 1st.
At the latest.
No more pre-orders though, so don't expect a pre-order because it ain't happening.
Right. And I can just say this now. Look, between Matt and I shipping from each different coast, the way we doing it, we probably only be able to put out about 300 to 400 books a day. You know what I mean? But just looking at the email, listen, I almost want to say we got I want to say the West Coast, man, but I can't deny the East Coast though. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say New York's bestseller? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the interest has just been great. You guys, thank you. And it'll be well worth it. Because listen, he and I got some things we're gonna be doing with the book though too, that everybody can get involved with also. All right.
Yep.
All right. So Ed Amrose said, have them downloadable into PDF files for purchase.
I mean,
I'm assuming he's talking about the cookbook.
Yeah, you're talking about the cookbook. Like maybe like have a. Yeah, I guess we can do that. Yeah, Actually, that would have been much easier. You know what I mean, to do it that way.
All right. Nicole Stang said, will the cookbooks be sold at stores like Walmart?
All right. I'll take that one. Actually, we working on that right now. You know what I mean? Let me just say this. The powers that be that work for like putting stuff like that into the stores, they want to see a book too, though. So listen, everybody waiting to get it in their hand to find out what can be available and when, and then we go from there. But right now, you guys get to go and we'll put all the information up on he and I's channel. You know what I mean? Give you everything you need to know, and then you can get it, and then we'll be shipping. Like I say, we can probably ship 400 to 500 books a day.
All right. So Cheryl Jackson said, big thanks to both of y'all, both for all these wonderful recipes. AB, your smothered pork chops have been life-changing.
Yes, sir. Yes. Hey, listen. And then I gotta say this too. A lot of people probably think that. Okay, so my grandmama didn't. My grandmama showed me how to make. When it comes to gravy stuff like that, she showed it to me and all that. But if you guys really want to know, my wife has refined my game when it comes to making gravy. You know, hey, she just got it. You know what I mean? With a little help of my seasoning. You know what I'm saying? It just turned out well. But I love them smothered pork chops. I've been away from them for about a couple of months. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay away. You know what I mean? Just eating too much. I want you guys to take a look at my face. It'll be slimming down. You know what I mean? I'm watching what I put in my body now. You know what I mean?
Mine's doing the opposite.
Huh?
I said my face is doing the opposite. I'm about to tighten it back up. I've been a little too loose on the diet here lately.
Right. Tina Sims said they need that cookbook. Yeah, it's coming. Hey, you know what? We're gonna do like we did on the last one. We did some random signings too. I mean, so
yeah, I think we should put together
that.
a little. Well, I don't want to get put the cart before the horse, but once the cookbook is in hand, we have all the copies that were guaranteed to us by the date they guaranteed it, barring any delays with that. We will begin selling them from the website, and then at that point, we'll put together some sort of book signing in some of the major cities, and hopefully, get a little tour going where we can, get out there and meet you guys. My favorite thing is running into people and talking to people. I'm kind of like an introvert by nature, so if you run up on me in public, it may take me a second to warm up to you. But I love hearing the stories, and I just appreciate the support. It's kind of like people talk about it's a term called imposter syndrome. So like when I'm out in public and somebody comes up to me and says they want to take a picture, I'm like, why do you want to take a picture with me? So it's like it takes a minute for me to realize that it's not a joke. But I love you guys, and I appreciate everybody that comes up to me out in the streets and says nice things to me.
Hey, it's definitely it's hey, like I say, when I tell people, I never got into it for that. But you know what? I'm a people person. I'm a people person. It doesn't bother me when they come up to me. I'll be like, "Hey, what's good, fam?" And the first thing they say is, they'll say something like, "Hey, you sound just like you do on there." I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm the same cat." And you know what? I'm running into a lot of people that know me in Vegas. I can't wait till I start uploading actually in Vegas. So they grow the influence. That's what I think anyway. You know what I mean? I'm ready to turn Vegas upside down. Hey, after it cooled off, man, it is hot.
I'm always down for a Vegas trip. Once the fall hits, let me know. I'll be out there.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Go ahead.
All right. We have a question from Kim Chandra. Said, what's in that glass? What you got in that glass?
You know what song that's from, Mitzi?
That's a negative. I know.
It's tequila today. Anybody else that's drinking with me, I'm gonna pour one more just for y'all asking.
Hey, I can see the difference in I know you, man. You know what I mean? So I know right now.
I need about two in me to.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't slid in. At first, it was like it's like throwing a bowling ball into the gutter. You know how it don't just stick right there, kind of like bounce in and out. But I didn't see it done settled in right now.
I'm Irish, so I just I need 2 or 3 just to get the blood flowing.
That's right.
All right. Dorothy Bless said, Matt, I do your oven baked ribs all the time, and they are fire.
Thank you. That's the first ribs. I think arguably, we're talking about competition earlier. I think my ribs are something like if I had a gun to my head and I had to deliver one of the best tasting things that I could produce, my ribs would be one of the top 3 things that I'd probably reach for. So I'm happy that people enjoy the recipe on the oven version of it.
That's interesting.
So Miss Callie said, AB, you should do a weight loss challenge so we can lose weight with you.
Hey, you know what? Keep up with my community tab. You know what? I need something.
I think you got a channel called what
Like with AB?
There we go.
There we go.
I'm gonna come down there. We go to the gym and work out together.
Ooh.
Come on, you can do it. Let's do it. If you guys want to see that, put it in the chat. If you want to see Mr. Make It Happen fly to the West Coast and work out with AB, throw me a thumbs up in the chat. We'll make it happen.
Hey, my workout be different than your workout, homie. You know
That's
what
all
I mean?
right.
I work out with things with engines in them. You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
That's how I get out, bro. You talking about going to a gym? I'm talking about let's rock this quarter mile.
All right. So, Butter Barbie Poo said, for both of you, did y'all expect for your YouTube to go far, or was it just something to post for fun?
I can give a short answer on that. I'm gonna just say when I first did it, it was more so for something to do. You know what I mean? I had got bored with like working, long hours, so it was just more like a dare. You know what I mean? I decided to go ahead and follow through. Been talking about it for years, and finally did it. And then I had just one goal. After I got 1,000 followers, I had one goal. I just wanted to get that silver play button. You know what I mean? It was all about just getting 100,000 subs. And then from that, it has turned into what you guys see today. And when I say that, a lot of things are coming down the pipe right now. I'm just putting them in order as far as the videos go. But you guys will get a chance to see. All of that came from me just starting a YouTube channel.
Yep. For me, I said earlier at the beginning of the podcast that I started with a food blog. I like we talked about earlier. I like to, I like to write. When I was paying attention in school, the only subject I actually did any good at was English, believe it or not. But so I started with the food blog, and honestly, I didn't want to get on YouTube because I was overweight at the time. I was probably 200. At one point, I was almost 250 pounds, and I just hated the way I looked, and that's why I never started a YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever said that to anybody publicly, so this is the first time I'm admitting to that. But it was a self-confidence issue for me. What took me so long to start my YouTube channel. I lost a bunch of weight, and then I said, F it, let's go ahead and do it. And like I said earlier, anything that I start to try to do, I got high expectations for myself. So to answer the question, yes, I expected my YouTube channel to go this far. And honestly, I like to see it a little bit further than it is, but
that's why I laughed.
Yeah, but we're headed in, with you guys' support, we're headed down the right track.
All right, so we have a question from Michael Holiday. Said, have you been invited to any of the Food Network shows like Guys Groceries Game, or even interested in that?
Nope, I haven't.
I actually turned down a couple big ones recently.
Have you?
One, Guys Grocery Games reached out to me, but they wanted me to fly out in like a week, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. And then one other one that I won't mention because I think I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, so I will refrain from mentioning that one. But one that I actually would want to do, but the timing just isn't right. So maybe one day I'll do one. But there's a lot of yellow tape, a lot of requirements for folks like us that run a business and got to keep this engine running. To expect us to leave and go do something for 6 to 8 weeks is a lot of a commitment. So it's just tough to make it make sense.
You know what? I never even thought about that. But you know what? I get so much spam, and then I have somebody that
I guarantee you got some in there for sure. I bet.
Oh yeah. So it's like half the things that I read, I don't believe no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta be careful for sure. There's definitely some spam out there.
Right. Hey, so you know what? Okay, she got another question up here.
We have a question from Daisy Gold. Says, hey AB, what's your favorite dessert with ice cream?
Oh, that should be easy, Daisy. Now, Daisy, let's think. I won't be looking for your comment. You know what I mean? So we got to be done. I mean, I know the answer. I could have been, said it, but like if you look at my channel, you got to know what my number one dessert is. It's on there. I done made it a couple of different times. I'm gonna go ahead and just say it.
We made one recently, right?
Yeah, hands down. I don't have to have nothing else no more in life. Hey, Matt, you even know that one. I don't know if that's your favorite, but you know what? Mine is peach cobbler. You know what I mean?
Can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't. I'm scared. Like one time I had cut myself and I was looking at, I didn't know if that was plasma or was it that peach cobbler juice coming out of my finger, bro. You know what I mean? I just wasn't sure. I was like, cause it ain't red.
You know who quietly has a really good peach cobbler?
Who?
Underrated peach cobbler. You guys call him Carl's Jr. on your side of the world, but it's Hardee's on my side. And Hardee's, for a fast food spot, has an exquisite peach cobbler. I grew up right beside a Hardee's growing up, and one of my friends worked there, so we would get free food from them all the time. And their peach cobbler was one of my favorite things that they had at Hardee's. I don't know if they still sell it. I haven't eaten at Hardee's in a long time, but Hardee's or Carl's Jr. Next time you're there, see if they got the peach cobbler because it's a sleeper.
Over here they got that cheesecake. I think it's a strawberry cheesecake. But when I'm on your side of the country though, because I know about Hardee's. And then, I used to talk to people about Hardee's and I'd be like, hey, I say, this ain't no Carl's Jr. And over there, they don't even know what Carl's Jr. is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I got it. I'm like, how you work for this company? You don't even know the other name of yours, the store. It's just like,
Right.
They be looking at me like I'm crazy, But anyway, vanilla ice cream. I don't care which one. It doesn't bother me which ice cream. It could be vanilla bean, just French vanilla. I don't care how I go down, just vanilla ice cream. But I can tell you this: my number one ice cream is I love sherbet. Rainbow sherbet is my favorite. I don't know about you guys, but I love taking everybody around that know anything about this. I like to take everybody back down that back down food memory lane, right? So then I think about how many people remember Thrifties?
Oh yeah.
Huh? Oh yeah. Now look, this go to show you the demographic. Hey, Nada just hit me. She was like, Rite Aid? I was like, nah. Before Rite Aid even knew who they were. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Thrifties used to be the OG. I don't know if you guys can remember this, but your first scoop was 25 cents. Yeah, that's right. I could take a quarter and come back with a nickel because I always got myself the triple. Yes, sir. Hey, get down, folks. Now, what we do? I always did sherbet, vanilla
you can't
ice
get
cream.
5% now.
Huh? Yeah, man. Matter of fact, they got a Thrifties.
You can't get anything for a quarter now.
No, nothing. Do they still have the gumball machines that you put a quarter in? That's probably all you can get if they have those.
It's probably 50 cents.
Yeah.
I used to get the rings at the gumball machine and take it to school and give it to all the cute girls in like third or fourth grade.
He's out there. Hey, I went to a school called Horseman Junior High School, which we call that Gladiator School for Crenshaw High and Washington High School. And anyway, right there on Florence and Western. And if Florence and Western sound familiar to anybody, yeah, that's right. It's down the street from Florence and Normandy where the whole riots got kicked off. That's the next major street. But it used to be a place right there on Florence and Western, 2 blocks next to I can't remember the name of the, what was the rim shop right there? Big name rim shop, like when rims hit the street, like fresh out of high school. That's where everybody went and got their Daytons. Hey, anybody on the West Coast know what I'm talking about. But anyway, there was a small store right there. We used to call it like it was called the bus stop. That's what it was called. And we go in there. You had the little rings, but we went in there and spent $1. He had dollar bags, 50-cent bags worth of candy. That's what I had. And I took that to the school and gave that to the girls. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that was my little come up. We ball like that on the West Coast.
All right. We have a comment from Arminor Thompson. Says best knife set for the price? ?
I'm gonna let you jump out there, Matt.
I'm glad because I got some knives hitting the street.
I knew that was coming.
But all jokes aside, guys, I do have a chef knife that I'll be having out for sale. I worked really hard on developing it and finding the right quality blade for you guys. But I want to say this: you don't have to buy mine, but I think that buying knife sets is a bad investment.
He kind of
8-piece knife set. You're going to use 1 or 2 of those. You'll use 1 or 2 of those, and the other 7 or 8 knives will just collect dust. You need yourself one really good 8-inch chef knife. Invest most of your money in that chef knife. You're going to need a paring knife, a serrated blade, and maybe a slicer. But you only need 2 or 3 knives total. So those knife sets are designed to, and I may put my foot in my mouth 3 years from now if I end up selling a knife set. Y'all can come back and tell me I'm a sellout. But I think knife sets in general, those big 12-piece knife sets are just designed to get you to spend more money because you're never going to use those knives. All you need is a good chef knife. You need a good paring knife. You need a serrated blade for bread and slicing and things like that. And that's really all you need. Maybe a boning knife if you're one of those folks that want to, debone chicken and things like that. But most people aren't doing that.
Right. I think a boning knife is essential though, period. Not just for deboning, as the knife is for, but boning knife or a good fillet knife. Look, that's good for like when you I'll just say if you trimming a brisket, those are great. You know what I mean? That flexibility in that blade. I mean, it's just a must have,
You can't beat it. But for the average home cook, you need just a couple knives is all you really.
Right. Restore, grill, eat, complete. Hey, I like that. Restore, grill, eat, complete. I like that. You say AB and Matt. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, do your thing.
AB and Matt were subscribers slow to acquire in the beginning.
Taking their job.
Right. Yes.
For me, I
Matt.
kind of had pretty quick success, honestly. I had a pretty big social media following before I started my YouTube channel, so that kind of helped me. Before I ever posted my first video, I had over 1,000 subscribers, but that was because I was pumping it so much on Twitter and Instagram and try to drive the, attention towards the channel. So I was, I did it the opposite of the way most people do it, is they start with YouTube and then they go out and they build social media. I kind of started on social media and built my YouTube afterwards. So that kind of helped me get a good start. Definitely helped along the way.
Right. Yeah, for me, I didn't have no social media presence at all. You know what I mean? It was for me just opening up a channel, calling it what I wanted to call it. And Miss Callie, I gotta say this. Listen, I keep seeing your name show up on the screen, and I love the fact that just Miss Callie, hey, represent. That's right. All right, I just like the fact that. Never mind. You know what? I'm sorry. Look, I'm over here reading. Look, I got to quit looking at all of this right now because now I'm starting to look at all of look, I saw Whataburgers pop up. Look, and that's in the back of my brain, like Whataburgers. Hey, you know what? I like Whataburgers. Just the way you guys are so. Everybody from Texas or anywhere else, they come here and they always say, "Hey, let's go to In-N-Out." Everybody that comes here to California, that's the first thing they say, "Hey, AB, there's an In-N-Out around here." And I'll be thinking like, In-N-Out, man, ain't nothing but a smash burger, bro. You know what I mean? But that's what we know. But I'm like that when I go to Texas. You know what I mean? I gotta have Whataburgers.
All right. So Karen Pelham said, "Great tip, Matt. The other knives on my knife block are rarely, if ever, used."
So I feel like you could take all that money you're going to spend on a knife set and invest in an 8-inch chef knife. That should be the most expensive knife in your house. Whatever you can afford, whatever's in the budget, invest it in that, and that knife will last you forever. As long as you sharpen it and take care of it. Don't put it in the dishwasher, hand wash it, dry it. Knife will last you forever. And that'll be the best investment you can make when it comes to a knife.
Right. You know, I guess I'm a little bit more obsessive. It's like I'm like that with knives. You know, of course, I have my own knife. I got my own chef knife, Damascus steel knife. I mean, I like it. You know what I mean? I would like to get. I think I went about it the wrong way. I mean, it's for like people that already know a little bit about the culinary and like to dabble in and have something nice. You know, something that's a little standoffish. I mean, standoutish. You know what I mean? I love the fact that it's got the yellow handle. You know what I mean? I constantly sharpen my knife. You know, things like that. I'm looking to do something else. That's like in the works too. I'll figure that out. You know, but that'll be something that I'll do. You know, for like next year. But as far as having a lot of different knives and knife sets, I'm just a knife fanatic. You know what I mean? Like I am about cutting boards. You know, I just love having a lot of different cutting boards. You know, stuff like that. So it's different types of people. It depends on who you're trying to market. You know, stuff like that. I just have a different take on that.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool to have a nice set. You know what I mean? But again, you know what I mean? It really depends on that. You touch bases on it when you start talking about your budget and stuff like that. Though that really dictates to you what you can do. You know what I mean? Like, You're right. If you got $80, then you get yourself an $80 chef knife and you in the game. You know what I mean? That and a paring knife, and then you got everything pretty much covered. You can get yourself an inexpensive serrated knife, so you can cut loaves of bread, stuff like that. You got to have one of them. But if anybody ever took, I don't care
serrated blade.
Yeah, I don't care how sharp your knife is. You know, if you ever try to cut what is that? What's
Hawaiian
the
roll?
King's Hawaiian roll? You know what I mean? I don't care how sharp it is. You know, once you get in there and it start getting a little gooey and
you cut yourself.
yeah. There you go. Go. So you got to have something serrated.
All right.
Tamara Jones said, "AB, you're my favorite chef." Yeah, you know what? Thank you. And look, I want to say thank you to everybody that dropped comments. You know, Matt sees them. I'm seeing them. You know, we can't just post everything on here, but you know what? We just want to say, hey, thank you. We appreciate it. And with that being said, don't forget this. Listen, we got to go by Real Talk with AB on YouTube. All you got to do is type in YouTube, hit the search bar, type Real Talk with AB. You'll go ahead and see a black background. You know, you'll see a microphone. It doesn't have my picture, nothing like that on there. Listen, because if you like this kind of content and, you know, you want to hear other things, we take suggestions and all of that. And I think before we go though, Matt, we running up on an hour and a half, but we discussed about taking a phone call. If you guys want to, I guess we can just drop the telephone number in here. If you guys can get through, you know what? I'm sorry we went so long, but me and Matt, we could just talk. But what really got my nose open, Matt, and you've been a great guest, though, by the way, is that panel. Let's talk YouTube. You know what I mean?
I need to make sure that I'm the most viewed guest on the podcast. So make sure you guys tune in, send it to your friends.
Oh, that's right. Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, this podcast is downloadable on Mitchie. I'll let you go ahead and say where it's downloadable from.
Yes, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, I believe.
Just about any stream that has a podcast, yes. That you download the podcast from, you guys can download this. This will be up. This will go up this evening. We'll make a couple of tweaks to it and it'll be up. So listen, when you're driving to work, don't forget, you can always just check. You want something to listen to, something with a little cool little background music to it. You know what I mean? You can hear just me and Matt just keeping it 100. Hey, and to be honest with you, it's just keeping it real.
It really is.
Yes, it is.
You can play it in the background.
Right.
Right.
All right.
So we're probably taking a phone call right now.
All right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, here we go.
In the meantime, Donna A said, "You are both the best of the best on YouTube."
Hey, know what? Thank you. And I just like that we just on two different ends of the stick. You know what I mean? And I just love that it's just so diverse. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Dwayne Huff said, "Please ask Matt if his seasonings will be in stores."
Great question. I'm glad that there's an appetite for them to be in stores. Since we're on Real Talk, I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit. So I was in negotiations with Walmart. Walmart wants a pretty hefty split of the profits to have it on their shelves. A lot of these big box chain stores like Walmart will want anywhere from 30 to 50% of your profit to put it on the shelf. So it's just something that I'm just trying to figure out if it makes sense. They are available in some local stores, like some mom and pop shops. I'm trying to hit those first. The mom and pop shops, the stores that are kind of local to the neighborhood here in Virginia. But my goal is to have nationwide distribution at some point. I'm just trying to figure out which one makes the most sense, for the brand that I'm trying to build. But thank you for asking.
And to meet that demand, you know what I mean? I know the back end of that from some talks that I had earlier about the barbecue sauce. Like if you can't meet it, you know what I mean? How they pay, and that pay structure was it's a little tough,
Yep.
One moment, guys.
We got a troll.
Oh, somebody said no trolls. Oh, they typing it. Oh,
adult dating site. How we know that's a troll?
Oh, look. Somebody said come to VA. They told me to come to VA.
Come on, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we need to do a pop-up.
The pool is warm.
I
got a spot I'm from Richmond. I got a couple spots in Richmond. We could do one for sure.
All right. So we have caller Kailash Chandra from North Carolina.
All right. Hello.
Carolina.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes. How you doing?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. What's going on, man?
What's going on, boss?
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, we're doing great, man. We're doing great, man. My wife, Kim Kendra, she's a subscriber to your channel, man. She subscribes to Nephew. We love both of y'all shows, man. We love y'all, man. We cook too. We cook all the time. And I don't even know if I have a question to ask you guys. It's just funny. I'm glad that I'm able to talk to you guys. We love what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Nephew, man, quit dropping that fork.
That kind of became my little quit dropping the fork.
Oh yeah,
you said you guys cook. What's your favorite thing to cook? You and your wife.
Keep doing it, man. I was playing. I don't even have a question for you guys right now, but what I want to do is say to you, man, I thank you guys for your recipes. We have our own recipes. we don't have, I don't know if a channel, we're not trying to do a channel or anything like that, but we have some recipes where we like to give you guys to show on your channels to help you boost your morale and your followers. And we love you guys, man. That's all I can say, man. We love you, man. I can't believe I got on the phone right now. I'm at a loss for words right now.
Hey, that's what's up.
Love you, nephew.
Hey, you know what?
Love y'all too.
Now, you know, we got we got some recipes made of our own. You know what I mean? We both culinary experts and all that good stuff. But man, it's wild, man. This is like I'm live on TV talking to you guys, and I'm not even there with you. But I love to meet you guys. We would love to meet you guys, man. We've been to Vegas like a couple of times. We've been to Virginia several times. We want to come meet you guys just to show some love, man. Have a couple of plates of food, the deliciousness. We can bring our recipes to you, show you what we do, and just show you that we love you, man.
Hey, you know what? That's what's up. Hey, I can hear it in your voice, man. It make me feel funny in the inside. You know what I mean? Because again, hey, listen, just to hear it, you know what I mean? To hear the excitement, you know what I mean? It's really overwhelming for me. I do want to say, hey, thank you. And listen, if you got a recipe and you want to share it, you can look in both he and I about
email it over.
Just email it over. You know what I mean? Put all your information in there.
I'm always looking for inspiration. So
yes, sir.
Thank you for that. And thank you for the support. We couldn't be sitting here doing what we're doing if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you from the bottom of our heart, my heart for sure. We appreciate it for sure.
All right. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you and your wife. Thank you.
Hey, yes, sir. Hey, look, we'll send some over to you as soon as possible. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man.
You got
it's an inspiration to everybody out here, man. You guys are great.
Okay. Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
We thank you, man.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
All right. You want to take one more?
Sure. Why not?
All right. Hey, I gotta say this, man. I can't beat this horse enough. We got to go. Everybody in here, you got to make sure we go to Real Talk with AB on YouTube. You know what I mean? We got to follow there. And then next week, we want to watch it there, right? This is supposed to reach everybody on Facebook and then on Smokin and Grillin with AB. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to reach those that don't know this podcast is out. You know what I mean? Because if you like this kind of content, and we finna kick some real gems, we finna go in there with that real topic, and let's just talk about like how to grow in life. You know, that's gonna cover the YouTube and all of that kind of stuff right there. You can hear Matt, hey, he holding his horse back in his last turn because he want to talk about it. And listen, I love talking about it. I think it's gonna be a couple other people we can put on the panel. You know what I mean? And then we can just have a real discussion, take some questions from the from the subscribers. You know what I mean? And just go from there. Don't forget, Real Talk with AB, and it's a giveaway. All right. So I guess Nada, I can hear her in there right now. She's talking to somebody. You know what I mean? Can you put some comments back up there now? She got the telephone number in there. All right, thank you.
A lot of love in the comments. I'm kind of overwhelmed at this. It's still shocking to me that people want to call in and talk to me.
Hey, bro, you know
so
what?
I appreciate it.
I'm like this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. My hand has been great when it comes to Smokin and Grillin with AB, and just to love the people that have found me and all of that. You know what I mean? But just, hey, you know, like sometimes when you get in alignment with somebody, look, this just fits you and I, though. You know what I mean? Hey, another cat that just fit is Pat Neely. You know what I mean? Because the way I see him is like how some people see me. You know, I saw him as this dude is like super huge. You know what I mean? You know, and then once I got to talk to him and all of that, hey, this dude, hey, you gonna love him, man. You know what I mean? Hey, just somebody like
that episode.
Yeah, that was just hey, it's fire, man.
I used to watch him back in the day.
Right.
All right, so QDK1 says, please make a pound cake.
Oh, no.
I got a couple on my channel. I'm pretty sure you got one too, don't you?
Yeah. But look, is socket to me like a pound cake?
Right.
I just saw somebody say something about Ray Mac. Ray Mac, you in here? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I stepped on you. Go ahead.
No, I was saying anything that you put in that bundt pan to me is basically comes out like a pound cake.
Okay. Go ahead and put the telephone number back up on it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Matt can just read them. All right, you guys, look, We got the number right here. If you want to call in, we're gonna take one more caller. Call in with a cool question. You know what I mean? Make it a culinary question. Or you know what? Call in and do whatever you want to do. I don't want to say it that way. You just call in, express how you feel. And we go from there.
All right.
All right, what is that right there? One delish. Just put what?
The smothered pork chops. I did that video because
Fan
of you.
favorite.
Fan favorite, huh? One delish,
When I come
huh?
back to the West Coast, I need some smothered pork chop.
Oh, for sure. But usually when you come out here, though, you know what I'm saying? I always got to put on a fresh set of kicks. You know what I mean? And it's the West Coast, man. So, I put on some crispy jeans. Got to have a fresh T-shirt. And then when you come out here, you usually come out here with something. So if you guys didn't know, man, I hope you're not gonna be mad at me, man. This dude come out here with that big thing around his neck. You know what I mean? Making it look like I got like a little rope around my chest, my neck or whatever. And then hey, where your piece at, man? You ain't out here. Where you?
I don't lie.
Yeah, that. Hey, we save it for the next. We save it for the next one. You hear that?
I'll break it out next time.
Usually when you go upstairs, they got that's under that lock and key. But it's something that dangled from what he put on his neck. And so the reason I'm saying that is because he said he want me to make some smothered pork chops, but I can't. Because this dude, when he come out here, it's all about let's jump in something fresh. If he ain't got here in nothing fresh, you know what I'm saying? And I got to try to hang with the youngsters downtown LA, brand new building, on the 28th floor.
Got to keep you young, man. That's what I'm here for.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. As long as y'all got a little room for the old relic. You know what I'm saying?
What are we doing for the 2 million subscriber celebration is what I want to know. I haven't got an invite to no party. I haven't heard nothing. I thought we was going to be on a yacht with some champagne.
Man, I would love for that to happen, bro.
By the time you hit 2 million, I might be right about at 500,000, so we can collaborate on a little soiree.
Oh yeah, that'll be real nice. Hey, you know what? We got another caller. I'm gonna go ahead and.
We have Heather from Indiana.
All right,
Heather.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, we're doing good. Heather, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man.
All right. Indiana. All right. Talk to us.
I just got back from Chicago, so it was kind of crazy out there for a minute, but it was okay.
Oh, yeah. And you know what I heard? Yes, I heard.
Yeah. I had a question for you guys. I've been following you guys for about, AB, I've been following you for about 3 years.
Thank you.
And Matt, I've been following, me and my husband following you for about a year and a half.
I appreciate it.
Do you guys have any recipes that you have for like kosher diet?
For culture diet?
One time?
Kosher diet?
Oh, kosher.
Kosher.
Diet. Yeah.
Not specifically, but that's something that I could probably look into a little bit more. Could you share with me or help me, make sure that I fully understand what is considered kosher?
It's certain things that me and my husband don't eat for religious reasons. And
right.
Based off your recipes, that's it. You guys got some really good recipes, but it's certain ones you can't do, like shrimp or like anything like pork like that or stuff, something like that. Yeah, so we can't eat stuff like that or like shellfish, like clams or crabs, lobsters.
That's another.
You guys ever thought about doing like substitutions for those type of things?
Well, you know what? That would be great. I'm thinking like right now, like jambalaya. You know what I mean? But or something like that. Like
jambalaya before. Yeah.
But
it's
like,
just that, there's no shrimp.
Right.
You do like a chicken and chicken sausage or beef sausage.
That's where I'm going with like the chicken andouille.
Yeah.
The chicken andouille sausage. You can substitute that.
That can be tricky too. Because like Johnsonville. Okay, I don't want Johnsonville trying to sue y'all, but
no. They
Johnsonville has a beef tasting in their meat, but if you try to go to certain companies, they have pork tasting. So even though it says beef on it, you can't eat it because Yeah, so it's just you guys ever thought about like trying recipes like that? And
No,
see
but
what
It's something that I can add to the list. A lot
right.
of the stuff that I make, I try to give a customization or an opportunity where you
Right.
can like, so you know your particular, like not just you, but anybody in general knows their particular diet better than me, right? So I lay out the ingredients, and if I'm using bacon, you know, you could use beef bacon in place of this bacon, or leave the bacon out altogether. A lot of the recipes that I use bacon, you could make it without the bacon, and it, you know, it still be a delicious recipe. So, but to your point, I need to do a little bit more research on, you know, kosher diet in general, and just see if I can come up with some stuff for you guys, and try to figure out ways to elevate the flavor for folks that follow different types of diets.
I think that was an excellent
Oh
idea.
yeah, because some of the stuff y'all make, I'm like, man, it looks good. But I can't put that in there.
You know what? It'll just take me a little bit longer, but if I can come up with some of the, you know, let me do my research on that. And that's another option that I can add down in my description box. Like let me make the recipe, and just moving forward, I will do that, because listen, I need to have recipes, you know, for everybody. And I'm glad you brought that up. So maybe I can make the substitutions down in the description box. Yes.
Mhm.
You know, excellent idea. Thank you.
It's one thing. No problem, man. It's one thing too. I know that some of the stuff like you guys will put out there, like if you bought it from like a product or something like that, like say if it's cornbread, like a mix or something, there has to be like symbols on the product to tell us that, you know, that we can eat it. Like it's like, you ever notice that little symbol at the bottom of the package, or it has like a K on it?
No, I have not noticed.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, I know. I never knew that even until you know, I joined my church, and I noticed that the foods that they showed us were we were able to eat, versus like normal stuff we used to eat before I changed religion. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know what this was. I just thought it was just letters that the company put on there, and that was it. But it symbolized kosher.
Gotcha. You know what? I'm going to do some research and look into that.
It's a lot. It's a lot of them. It's over 26 companies that are dedicated to what quality of kosher it is. It's a lot.
Okay. So
it's kosher that is a lab too.
Okay, so this is what I did. I got it written down. Matt, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm sure he'll do his, you know, what he works on his end, but that's a great option for me to add to all of my recipes. And, you know, that's something that only takes just, you know, a few minutes, a little bit, you know, longer to just add into the description box. And you know what I mean? I might mention it in my videos, but just give me you got to wait until about my third video, because, you know, I'm ahead of the game. Then after that, like my new video that I'm going to film, you know, tomorrow, which will be coming out next week. Once I do that, I'll start adding that down in the description box below. That's a great idea. And I want to say, you know what? Thank you. Listen, I learned something new every day. I'm going to go ahead and, Matt, if you want to say anything, you know, and then I'm going to just say, you know what? Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. And then Matt, you
thanks for your support, and thanks for the feedback. And just, you know, we're always looking for ways to improve and to better accommodate you guys. So thanks for the support, and thanks for the feedback.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a super chat. Doesn't have a name, but it says made first ever gumbo from collab video, and you would have thought I've been making gumbo for years. Thank you for the if you haven't burned a roux, you haven't cooked one. YouTube University pros, Ann.
Man, that, you know, am I saying too much? Because of the way my brain sees it, making a roux. If you know how to make you know how to make gravy, a roux should be very easy. And then if you don't want to burn it, you can just hey, you know what I'm thinking about, Matt? Look, my brain working so fast. I'm thinking about me and you had just discovered a dude that can make a roux in what was that, 5 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes, or something like that. Yeah, I was thinking of that. But listen, if you don't want to have no failure when it comes to making a roux, just cook it slow. You know,
you could also do it in the oven. There's a couple recipes online for oven roux. You can't mess that up.
Right. You know what? Now I've made it since I've learned that. You know what I mean? But I haven't made a video doing it. I was just trying to save that.
It just
You know
takes
what
so
I mean?
long. It takes like an hour
Right.
15.
Right. But that's what's up. I'm glad you had success. You know what I mean? I hope I didn't let the cat out the bag.
Thanks for your support.
Oh, yes. All right, Matt. Look, we've been going on. Look, it says 1 hour and 40 minutes, man. So much more we can talk about. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and just start wrapping this up, man. Listen, this is really about you. Seemed like I done did a lot of talking. You know what I mean? And that's it right there, man. I just love hearing this song. Hey, so anybody in here right now, that if you in here and you hear this song in my video, you know, this is when we slow it down. You know what I mean? And we start stirring all nice and slow. Somehow your brain dims the sun on the outside. It start looking like it's about 7:30. You know, for you, Matt, you probably pouring yourself something. You know what I mean? I would say you was pouring it with something, but I know you just rocks in the pour. You know what I mean?
That's
Hey, you
it.
getting down. Hey, you getting down like that. For me, I got the rocks and I got that grape Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? And
I like that too. Put a little tequila in there. We got a party.
now I ain't gonna lie. Now you know, to know me is to know that I don't drink, but if you give me something fruity with a little kick, something smooth, you know what I mean, I can do that. You know, I went to a Jill Scott concert one night, and I think I just had rum and Coke, but the mixture was right. I couldn't quit laughing, Matt. My folks told me, they was like, "Hey, this dude," they was like, "Hey, let's go." I just couldn't quit laughing. I'm the only dude just laughing in there. I had a couple of them though, and that had me right. I ain't gonna lie to you.
There you go.
All right, Matt. So look, this is your time, man. Talk to them. Let them know what your ventures, whatever you want to share. This is it. My platform is your platform. Get down.
I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please go ahead and head over to my YouTube channel at Mr. Make It Happen. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to enable notifications. On Instagram, it's at _ Mr. Make It Happen _. On TikTok, it's the same as Instagram at _ Mr. Make It Happen _. Twitter is at Mr. Make It Happen. I have a line of seasonings. I got an all-purpose seasoning, a hot AP seasoning. I got a digital food thermometer, all on sale on the website. I have a chef knife hitting the market in about 2 weeks. Myself and Uncle AB here have a joint cookbook that'll be out at the end of next month or early September. And just thank you for your support. I just closed on my office space. I'll be starting, a podcast and a couple other things as well over on my end. That's probably a little ways down the road, a few months from now, but just follow the journey. Appreciate the support. Couldn't do without you guys. And thank you, AB, for having me on the platform.
Oh, for sure. Hey, I want to put this other comment up here right now. I think I answered this one like on just come up. It says, why is your channel called Smokin and Grillin with AB and you don't do no smoking or grilling? And you really don't know about smoking or grilling. You had to talk to Malcolm Reed to figure it out. I just thought I'd put this on here. You probably thought I wouldn't even play it. Hey, listen, obviously you somebody new here. You don't really know. There's so much I can say to you. You know what I mean? Hey, just stick around. I won't ban you from the channel or nothing like that. Just figure it out. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I can just tell you this. I'll give it to you this way. I'm so glad that I didn't just make a channel that was just about smoking and grilling. You know what I mean? Because then you wouldn't have had the chance to even type this comment in here right now. You know what I mean? Only very few people really growing that. You know what I mean? So do your research, stuff like that. Hey, love comments like this. So listen, hey, if you want to hey, I wish you would have called in, man, so we could have just really talked about it. But if you feel like I don't know nothing about it, I guess that's why I happen to have the 2 million and I provide the platform for you to call in. I mean, for you to, to type, you know what I mean? Because everybody got a voice. Everybody tough on the other end, the other side of this and all of that. Hey, there's so much I want to tell you, man, but I got to just hey, keep it true and keep it straight. But check this out. If you're out here on the West Coast and you want to come to my studio, why don't you just come here? You know what I mean? And then why don't we just put my skills to the test? All right. With that being said, hey, thank you guys for coming. Hey, it's been great, you guys. We just got a super chat. You guys are my favorite 2 chefs. I'll let you read that. Now it's starting to be blurry on my end.
2G2 great. It says you guys are my favorite 2 chefs on YouTube of perfect balance between you 2 guys. Whatever one doesn't have as far as recipes, the other one will. Salute to both of you guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for the support.
Yes. And then when we talk about just to say something about super chats and stuff like that. So when you guys look at you guys, I do want to say thank you to those who, decide to reach into their pocket especially with fuel and food prices as high as it is. You know what I mean? So what we do with this money here, we take this money and we try to build a better podcast. We buy, different equipment. Maybe if it means just getting a better mic so that you can hear, everything like the ASMR, as far as the cooking goes or whatever. But the bottom line is we take everything, we put it back into the channel, and we just try to make the best possible channel that we can. So I'm sure from Matt and myself, we just want to say, hey, thank you. And with that being said, you guys been watching my channel for a minute. You know how I always end these, right? Whether it's this or the end of my video, always we look at it, I wipe my mouth, I say my outro, and guess what, folks? I'm out. Peace.
Thank y'all.
Put it on me, but baby.